Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about the MATLAB, the very basic. Where I am assuming you don't know anything about MATLAB. You have just installed it and you are confused where to start. So here is the place you can get acquainted with the terminologies and the different windows and all the basic stuff. So if you know the basic of MATLAB, well and good. I think you can skip the uh, video, or you can watch and comment it like if I have uh, anything else to add. Okay. So when you open the MATLAB, you may find some page like this. Okay. So before starting anything else, uh, I would request you to go to the layout. Okay. Pardon me. Sorry. uh, to the layout, you can see there are different kinds of layouts. One is the default, two column, and command window only. So default is the this one. Like here in the left hand side you have the current folder. Currently this folder doesn't have any MATLAB file, that's why it's empty. The workspace, though in the MATLAB, we haven't created any variable yet, that's why this space is empty. The workspace is where you can find all the variables you have created, their value, their size, those data. I'll explain it. And in the current folder you will be having the all the MATLAB files you have generated. What I prefer, and you can have this two column format as well. Here on above you have the current folder, and below you have the workspace. Anyway, you can increase the size and decrease the size whatever however you want. And all there are different kinds of layouts you can choose. I prefer personally this layout, like the command window and the current folder and the workspace are here, so that I have more space to work with in the window. Okay, then apart from that, now let's go to the command window. Okay. What does it do? Command window is for writing a simple single line script and just running it out. So I will just take an example. Suppose you want to add 3 plus 7. So it's very simple, and the answer is 10. Now you can see in the workspace the answer, there is the answer, like the variable named answer is created and its value is 10. What if I have 2 plus 5? So the answer, the same variable which was created initially, that value doesn't store 10 anymore, it stores 7. So what if I want to have some I want to store this value 10 and the value 7 as well. So I will just name them differently. Simple enough. Like if I want to a1, the answer 1 is equal to 3 plus 7. Now you can see the answer is 7 and a1 is 10 and a2 is equal to 2 plus 5. A2 has 7. And now you can note and one more thing, all the memory a1 we are defining a variable a1. Its memory is created and it's stored, but when we directly type something like 12 into 30, 69, so the 808, this value for the answer, we haven't created this variable. This memory is allocated dynamically by MATLAB only. It's a that's why it's easy to use. We don't need to define the variables in MATLAB. Now you can see my command window a little bit cluttered. Like now also I can perform some expressions, 6 into 8. Okay. but you can see it's more or less a little bit cluttered. What if I want to just clear everything and I want the initial whiteboard? The command is CLC. Just enter, put the enter, gone, everything is gone. But you can see the variables we have created are still there. Only the, pardon me, I will explain this part later. Okay. So now the variable we have created are still there. Just the command window, whatever it had, is gone. So now if I want to clear my workspace as well, I don't want any variable in my workspace anymore. I want a clear workspace. I can simply write clear. Sorry, gone. My workspace is also empty now. So now we know what this is, the command window, this is the workspace and current folder. Okay. Now what if, I'll just clear the command window as well. Now if I want to create a variable a which has some value 5. Okay. Now look, you can see I have written a is equal to 5 and it gets the output like the a is equal to 5 and it stored a is in the workspace variable a with a value 5. But if I type a is equal to 5 and give a semicolon, what it will do, sorry, I'll just make a different variable so that it's better. P is equal to 8. Okay. Now at the end, if I put a semicolon, this semicolon, then what will happen is it won't be in the output anymore. We can see you can't have this kind of format anymore. So just the next line. This double right hand side arrow is the next line. Okay. But you can see there is a variable called b is created in the workspace. It is useful like if you want to write a bunch of line codes and you don't want to see the output, then use the semicolon. It's generally advisable to use the semicolon if you know, like if you want to see some parameter, then remove the semicolon, otherwise keep it. Okay. So now if a is equal to 5, b is equal to, now I make c is equal to a divided by b. So what's the value? I'm suppressing the output. The value will be 0.625. So if you want to see some out value, just if you want to see what was my c, then just type c, enter. The c value is here, a, enter, and b, enter. Okay. So now you have all the expressions. So I have explained the CLC and clear. Now another tool in MATLAB which is gonna be your best friend. Like when I say best friend, I mean it, because I personally use this command a lot. Like whenever I face any doubt on MATLAB function, I just type help space and whatever function I have doubt, like the CLC. If I don't know what CLC does, I'll just type it and it will give CLC is the clear command window. CLC clears the command window and homes the cursor. Also, like now, if you want to see more about it, you can click on the documentation for CLC. It will lead you to the MATLAB documentation, and here you can see if I have rand 50, rand is a variable called the random variable normal distribution. Okay, let's check. You don't know anything about what rand function is, so help rand, just type it, that's all. Then you will be having some brief introduction. It's not that detailed, but it is fair enough. It's good enough discussion on it. Like rand is a uniformly distributed pseudo-random numbers. So it returns n cross n matrix containing. Okay, but how to do the matrix operation and all, maybe I will be explaining it in another lecture. So you can use the help command. That's very handy and very useful. Another command is the up arrow, like the arrow. Like if you don't remember what expression you had just used or you have typed and simulated, just give the up arrow. So now you can see whatever in the command window, whatever value we have written, like it's already there. So anything you want, just enter it. It's again up to it. So pardon, this is okay. MATLAB is very useful. Now we will come to the script part, the editor part, which is why you are here. It's generally when we write a bunch of line codes, we don't prefer writing it over command line. So because in command window, if I want to run something, so every time it will just simulate it there only line by line. It's not convenient. So now this window, let me go there again. This window in the home, the new script, new live script. So I will be explaining about the live script in another lecture. Have patience. That's very beautiful and very handy. Now we'll be explaining a little bit about new script. So when I enter the new script, now you can see my command window has gone below a bit. Now my whole whiteboard is divided into two parts. One is the editor part and another is the command window part. In the editor part, the first thing I suggest you to save it. You can type Ctrl S or you can save it from here. So in that, give it any name, random example. Okay, and remember MATLAB's files are .m extended. So now you can see in the current folder the random example file is created, and we'll just clear the workspace. Okay, and CLC. Then come this is the script. So whatever we had done, like simple a is equal to 5 semicolon I am giving. Okay, we'll just see what happens when I am not putting the semicolon. B is equal to 3 and C is equal to 5 into 3. Okay. So now if I run it, look, you can see in the command window, the output shown is A is equal to 5, B is equal to 3 and C is equal to 5 into 3, 15. Okay, but what if I'll just clear everything in the command window. I'll give the semicolon here, and semicolon here, and I'll just clear everything. Now if I run, you can see the same variable are created, but there is nothing in the output because we have put the semicolons over here. Okay, another important thing is, like if you want to comment something, now suppose you have D is equal to 13, okay, and C is equal to A into D, okay, but now if you want to comment the B, like I want to comment it, you don't want to remove it, just comment it. Sometimes maybe in future it will be useful. Then type just the 1% before B. Okay, so now this line is commented. If I run it, clear. this sentence won't be simulated. Just because we have commented this line, B variable is not created in our workspace. Just A, D and C variable are created. Cool, it's very simple. So next is our sections. So if I there is not so mandatory about the section, but I personally prefer it because it makes your code a bit structured. Like you can see my transfer function video in control system. There I have written the some parts in different sections, so it's very useful. So you can create another section like f is equal to 20, sorry 53. I'm taking random numbers. G is equal to 9 and h is equal to pi. The 3.14 value, you can check it. The value 3.1416. Okay. Now maybe L is equal to f into pi, f into h divided by g. Okay, I'm just taking random values. I don't know whatever values are. So if I clear everything and CLC, do the CLC. Now look, if I run it at once, everything will be run. Like now I run. Now you can see in the workspace A, C, D, F, G, H, L, every variable is created and the values are calculated. Like C is equal to, you can check, it's just C, it's 65, 5 into 13, and L, it's 18.5005. So now what I will do, I'll just run this section. Here is the button for run section. Now look, only my A, D and C are like variable are created because the code hasn't gone to this part. It remained in this section only. So now if I run it, so now you can see everything is there. You got the idea? So now we'll be going into like how to write. But first, before starting any program, the first thing is to save. When you open a new tab that is untitled, before starting, save it. Okay, so that your program file will be auto backed down. Next thing is write these 3 lines. You already know what CLC, clear and close all does. Suppose before you run your program, there is something in the command window. The command window is full or cluttered. In the workspace, there are already some variables. There is a high chance, like in your code, the variable you have chosen, like now if I choose some A is equal to some, J is equal to A. Okay, so this will be taking this value, so there is a chance of ambiguity. So to remove that, clear it and close all. Is suppose in the previous run someone else was using your MATLAB, he had some plots and some like these things, help and all. You can close it directly, but suppose there are lots of tabs, the close all will close everything else, will just keep this window. Okay, so first part is to write these 3 lines. Okay, then what I do, I generally do different sections. Now I start whatever code I want to make. So just do anything like simple mathematical calculation, 56 and J is equal to 85 and maybe we will just R is equal to D square, so plus J cube. Okay, so for square and cube you need this this little guy which is on your keyboard along with 6 the numpads. Okay, then if I run everything, just see, now you only have CL, the DJR, you don't have the rest of the variables. Okay, so you can check the values of R as well from here. So now what happens, you wanted to have something. Now coming to the debugging part, every time coding is good, it's easier than debugging a program, because when you write some codes there is a high chance you, like, if you are getting the result in the first run, you are very good, my thumbs up to you. But there is a high chance you won't be getting your desired result in the first run, so you want to debug it, like where the issue happened. So then you do nothing, just adding the breakpoints. Okay, here you can see the numbers, the lines numbers are there, and near to that there are the horizontal small lines. So wherever you feel like there is some issue or something, just put one, like go to that horizontal line, click it, so one red dot will be appearing, that is called the breakpoint. Okay, so now when you run, like I'll write a couple of more sentences, like f is equal to d plus r, and g is equal to 559 into 59 into d. Okay, anything. So now if you run it, you can see this little arrow, that means the code has run up to the above part, like the code has been executed till line 7, and you can see in the workspace only variable d is created. So you can do this next step. You can see the arrow has come down to line number 10, and the j value you can see in the workspace. Okay, so again if I do, then the r value has been calculated and it's been put in the workspace. Similarly I can do, now everything has run, there is no error. Okay, so if you, then you can deduce where the error was, then you can just click on the red dot again and it's gone. Okay, so it's very easy, very handy, and very useful. So I think for the basic MATLAB, like I will just revise, like this is the editor window, this is the command window, this is the workspace, and this is the current folder window. And the three powerful sentences, these three magical words, CLC, clear, and close all. Then you can write your code in the editor part and play with it. Thank you.